Three men are climbing down a mountain when one of them falls to his death after the rope holding him fails. The two remaining men slide down safely and notice carvings in the mountain. They feel strange when they look at them, and suddenly a beam of light emits from the carvings, taking out the surrounding electricity and satellites in a large mile radius. An organization called Arkham forms to seal away the knowledge of an ancient civilization that warns against summoning their art again. The special operatives for Arkham are called Spriggans. In the forest, an agent named Elf is following men and calls for help from the Red Company, but there is no response. He is left alone and sees more dead bodies. The main character, Ominae, wakes up in a classroom and talks with his friends about a missing student who had just appeared the previous day named Tanaka. When Ominae approaches Tanaka on the rooftop, he sees that Tanaka is wearing a vest tied with explosives with the message, "Noah will be your grave." Ominae tries to help Tanaka not to press the detonation button. Tanaka asks for help, as he seems to be struggling with himself not to press the detonation button, but fails, causing an explosion. Ominae visits Mr. Yamamoto to ask about Noah and learns about Arkham's investigation on Mount Ararat. It is revealed that on that mountain, they have found Noah's Ark. Another unit of Arkham was attacked 3 weeks ago, and Ominae worries that his friend Tanaka may have been turned into a bomb. Despite Mr. Yamamoto's warning, Ominae arrogantly tells him that he will go to Noah's ruins himself. On the way to Turkey, Ominae learns that a Dr. Meisel is on site examining Noah's Ark. When they enter Turkish airspace, the authorities attack and apprehend them. Ominae and a man are later released from custody and notice they're being followed. The man with Ominae points a gun at him, but Ominae fights him off and crashes the car. The chase continues on foot, and Ominae manages to take out each man one at a time. Ominae is a member of Arkham's Special Operatives Unit and seeks to seal off dangerous ruins of ancient civilizations. The men hunting Ominae discuss losing track of him, but are not worried because Ominae is heading their way. Ominae travels from Istanbul all the way to Turkey when he notices Mount Ararat. When he arrives at the site, Arkham security fires at him, and he gets captured. However, the Arkham security does not recognize him as a Spriggan and brings him inside where they meet Dr. Meisel, who recognizes him. Dr. Meisel hears that people want Ominae killed and tells him that Mr. Yamamoto is worried about him and his actions. The doctor gives Ominae some new armor that reacts with his nerves and increases his strength by about 30 times. The facility gets attacked by 2 unidentified intruders, which gives Ominae a chance to try out his suit. The 2 intruders lay waste to the Arkham men, and the fight seems unfair because they are mechanically enhanced. Ominae arrives and fights off one of the men who escapes, leaving the other man, called Fat Man, to deal with Ominae. Ominae recognizes Fat Man as Major Fat Man, who he thought was dead, and the two start fighting. The other man who escaped from Ominae is looking for Dr. Meisel when he bumps into another Spriggan called Jean-Jacquemond, who fights and captures him. Ominae and Mr. Fatman battle it out, and the Major mentions that he was the one who put a bomb on Ominae's friend, Tanaka. Ominae bursts into anger and kills Mr. Fatman. Ominae is then shown Noah's Ark and told that it is at least 4 times bigger than it was described in the Old Testament. Its material is not mere wood either, and current technology can't even scratch it. Dr. Meisel explains to Ominae that they have failed to open it because it is made up of some kind of time-stop material. Time doesn't flow, so you can't break it. When questioning the other man who was captured, Ominae identifies him as a U.S. Machine Corps cyborg attached to the Pentagon. The other man laughs and mentions that the man with the power of the devil will be there soon. The facility is attacked again and surrounded by a group of men led by a boy. Ominae approaches the boy and asks who he is, but when he tries to touch him, the boy psychically attacks Ominae and causes him to fall to the ground. The boy warns the other Arkham men that if they do anything, they will end up like him. Dr. Meisel tells the men to comply with the young boy because they will needlessly die. He and Miss Margaret take the young boy to the computer where the boy translates the codes. The message left on the stone tablet reads, "I am the Lord of the Sky. Awaken me and have dominion over what enfolds earth. When evil runs rampant on earth, change the blessings of heaven to those of hell, and create humanity anew by adjusting the ozone layer and carbon dioxide that enfolds the earth." The boy destroys all the computers in the lab, making him the only one left with the information, and tells Dr. Meisel that he will enter Noah's Ark with him and won't refuse if he cares about the lives of everyone in the facility. Dr. Meisel identifies the boy as McDougall. a boy who has a magnetic amplifier implanted in his brain, and warns him that one mistake means brain death for him. He continues to say that McDougall is a product of a government's monstrous ego. When Dr. Miss Margaret and McDougall leave, Jean drives back to the building to rescue Ominae from captivity. At the entrance of the Ark, the door seems to be resonating with McDougall approaching it. A triangular piece of the Ark door is in McDougall's pocket, and the rest is up to the Doctor to figure out how to open the entrance. The Doctor deduces that there must be something special with the mountain, because why would the Ark be at the top of a mountain that stands alone? After altering ultraviolet rays on the entrance, the key to place the triangular piece reveals itself, and the three open the Ark doors. They walk inside a dark room. When Ominae rescues Jean-Jacques Monde, who is wounded, Jacques Monde tells Ominae that he should rather go after the kid. Ominae finds the entrance, and the other men tell him that McDougall and the Doctor with Miss Margaret have entered inside the Ark. McDougall and the Doctor find Noah's control panel. When he touches the panel, a light beams out of the panel, lighting up what seemed to be some sort of dome. Ominae gears up with some more weapons and also enters the Ark. He is walking in darkness. The Doctor writes some symbols on the panel and places the key. The seal breaks and reveals wonders of information. Noah narrates that the environment is considered to be the biggest problem on the Earth, and with Noah, they can solve all these problems. Ominae, on the other hand, is still walking in darkness. He can hear McDougall speaking, but he still can't see past his flashlight. McDougall continues that the government was looking to be the world's leaders at all times, and to do that, they had to find the Ark. He continues that Noah probably caused the Ice Age that destroyed the dinosaurs. Meanwhile, Ominae bumps into a figure that is also a dinosaur. McDougall continues to say the other things he saw, like the dinosaurs and other creatures, must be there for experiments to create the next generation of new animals to walk the Earth. In other words, it is a machine to create new life, and human history started in Noah's Ark. McDougall tells the Doctor that mankind took the wrong path down history, and he wants him there to create the next generation of life forms, and that's the reason he brought him there. The Doctor refuses, and this upsets McDougall, and he goes to the panel where he initiates the Ark to move. Ominae, on the other hand, is just seeing the visuals of different places. McDougall explains that he has started the warming mode. The polar ice caps will melt, and the warm water will cause abnormalities in the weather, and the majority of the land will be flooded. Everything in the facility is falling apart. Bad weather is reported around the area, with heavy winds, earthquakes, and floods. Ominae fires his rocket in the darkness. He says if it can't be broken from outside, he will do it from the inside. He shoots at random screens appearing at random in front of him. Ominae fires a number of times until he finds the screen showing where the Doctor and Miss Margaret are. Ominae manages to blast a hole through the place where the others are. The Doctor has had enough of what's happening and approaches McDougall, who then blasts the Doctor with his energy. Ominae shoots at McDougall, who blocks the blast. The Doctor tells Ominae to seal off the Ark before they exit through the hole Ominae blasted. McDougall and Ominae go at it fighting, but McDougall manages to keep him down. He calls the dome the House of God, that God is Noah and the one who uses it. McDougall explains that the power of Noah is given to those who are chosen, and Ominae does not belong there. Ominae tries to tell McDougall that he is being used, and that for the government, he is just an expendable item. But McDougall laughs and tells Ominae that neither the Pentagon nor the Machine Corps concerns him. Ominae charges to attack McDougall, but McDougall manages to blast Ominae away. This makes McDougall experience pain after using his ability. When Ominae tries to get up, McDougall attacks him again, this time removing his armor. McDougall sees a number tattooed on Ominae's arm and realizes that Ominae belonged to Project Cosmos, the Pentagon's special experimental unit that raised children to become elite killers, and calls Ominae number 43. Ominae gets flashbacks of him in a lab and in training. Ominae tells McDougall that he is not a number and that he is Ominae. McDougall tells Ominae that he knows his story and he is the boy who wiped out his entire unit. Ominae gets flashbacks of when he was taking out the unit. McDougall also calls him a killing machine. Ominae refuses to become a killing machine again. At this point, the whole world is experiencing tremors, floods. McDougall calls himself God and that he will destroy the human race. This time, Ominae charges towards McDougall and manages to cut the wire connecting to his head and stabs him through the chest. The Ark is now floating in the air. Inside, Ominae removes the key from the panel and goes to carry McDougall. Ominae tells him that he is not an instrument for killing. McDougall steals the key and initiates Noah into destruct mode. He tells Ominae that the inside of the Ark was an alternate dimensional space, and now it'll be swallowed up by their third dimension. McDougall, while being sucked into the hole, tells Ominae that they found many other magnetic fields like Noah, and there are lots of other ruins with powers like this all over the world just waiting to be found. And he tells the Spriggan that the real fight has only begun. Everyone on the outside watches the Ark collapse, while on the inside, Ominae is trying to escape when he passes out, waking up being carried by Jean-Jacques Monde. The inanimate monsters in the Ark start moving due to the Ark's failure, and since they catch up with time, they accelerate and decay to a skeleton. The Ark pushes out Ominae and Jean while the Ark collapses on itself, returning to nothingness. The weather clears up, and 3 helicopters carrying Ominae and Jean fly to safety, reuniting them with the others. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.